Many people ask me about breakfast cereals. I know that in Australia and the US and probably New Zealand and South Africa and England, that 97% of all pantries have a packet of breakfast cereal. Well, I can tell you this much, I haven't had a packet of breakfast cereal in my pantry for probably 40 years. Because when I learnt how they were made, I realised that there was no goodness or nutrition in them. Plus, it was upscaling a product like wheat into Weet Bix. So wheat's cheap, Weet Bix is expensive. Yes, it says Weet Bix is 97% wheat, but it's not that it's 97% wheat, it's what they've done to the wheat in order to make it a Weet Bix or whatever it is that they're making, like a corn flake. So it's an extruded grain, and it has had many processes done to it in order for it to become in the shape that you see it in. Then all the nutrition is gone because of all the processing that's done to it. So they have to add back vitamins and minerals. That's called food fortification. And it was recognized that there were B vitamins and some minerals that were missing, and now it's folic acid, and that it was recommended by Food Standards Australia and New Zealand or the USDA or whoever was recommending it, that we start to fortify breakfast cereals because they were lacking in nutrition and people were lacking in nutrition because it came the new thing for people to consume. So it's not that Weet Bix is 97% Weet Bix and 3% something out. It's what they've done to the wheat that's the issue. And the other issue, if it's not organic, what have they done in the growing process of all these grains? So what's happening with grains in the growing process is, number one, if they're not genetically modified, and that's Roundup ready or glyphosate ready, like corn or soya or sugar cane, or it's actually not sugar cane, it's sugar beet. If it's genetically modified to be Roundup ready, then they're going to be spraying that chemical on it. But what they're doing with some grains around the world and in certain areas of the world is that just before harvest, they will dry the wheat grain or the legume or any other grain that they choose to dry. They'll dry it so there's not a lot of riffraff while they're harvesting. And in that drying process, they use, of course, glyphosate, and that then ends up on the grain. So not only have they refined the grain, but what are the dubious agricultural practices that are now being done to our grains that then go into our cereals? And then you have to look at the additives. If there's a flavor, you're going to have to, wonder how is that flavor made. But you'll read all about that in my book, Lab to Table. Hope that helps with the breakfast cereal question.